What is rebar? Steel reinforcement bars or rebars are used to improve the tensile strength of the concrete, since the concrete is very weak in tension but strong in compression. Steel is the only used as a rebar because the elongation of the steel due to the high temperatures, thermal expansion coefficient nearly equals to that of concrete. Grades of steel. Usually rebars are made of steel, as steel has various grades, so to achieve a particular properties of steel, it is divided into the following grades. Whereas different codes with respect to their countries having their own classification for the grade of steel. As the following table shows the classification of grade with respect to the standard. Every code has their designation to classify the material. The numeric value shows the yield stress to a particular grade of steel in Newton per millimeter square. So, what are the different types of reinforcement bars? Mild steel bar. There are two different types of deformed steel bar. First one is deformed TMT steel bar and second one is deformed HST steel bar. Carbon steel rebar, epoxy coated rebar, galvanized rebar and lastly glass fiber reinforced polymer rebar. So let's understand this one by one. Mild steel bar. The surface of mild steel bar is plain and round in shape. They are available in various sizes 6 mm to 50 mm. They are used in concrete for special purposes such as dowels at expansion joints where the bars must be slid in a metal or the paper sleeve, for contraction joints in roads and runways and for column spirals. They are easy to cut and bend without damage. For bridges and other heavy structures, mild steel is not recommended due to no great bonding between the concrete and steel, slippage and strength. Deformed steel bar. Deformed steel bar have rips, lugs and indentation on the surface of the bar, which reduces the major problem that faced by the mild steel bar. Due to the slippage and the good bonding is achieved between the concrete and rebar, the tensile properties are higher compared to the other rebars. These bars are produced in the section of 6 mm to 50 mm in diameter. These bars are classified in two types: deformed TMT steel bars and deformed HYST steel bars. Deformed TMT steel bar. TMT stand for thermomechanically treated. These bars are hot treated bars that have the high strength and use in reinforced concrete structures. It is the lead in the MS steel bar and the superior properties such as strength, ductility, welding ability, bending ability and the high quality standards at international level. Characteristics of TMT steel rebars are better ductility and malleability, high yield strength and toughness, more bonding strength, earthquake resistance, corrosion resistance, high thermal resistance, economical and safe in use, no loss in strength and welded joints, and ordinary electrode are used for welding the joints. Another type of deformed steel rebar is deformed HST steel bar. The high strength deformed bars are cold twisted. Steel bars are lugs, rips and projections or deformations on the surface. It is extensively and majorly used for the reinforced purpose in construction. These bars are produced in the sizes and sections from 4 mm to 50 mm in diameter. Addition to this, these type of bar have low carbon value, superior bonding strength, welding capability, high tensile strength, wide application range and satisfactory malleability. These are some of the characteristics of deformed HST steel bar. Carbon steel rebar. As the name represents, it made up of carbon steel and commonly known as black bar due to the carbon color. The main drawback of these rebar is corrodes, which is adversely affect the concrete and the structure. The tensile strength ratio coupled with the values makes black bar one of the best choices. Epoxy coated rebar. Epoxy coated rebar is a black rebar with epoxy coat. It has the same tensile strength but 70 to 1700 times more resistance to corrosion. However, the epoxy coating is incredibly delicate. The greater damage to the coating, the less resistance to the corrosion. Galvanizing rebar. Galvanized rebar is 40 times more resistance to the corrosion than black rebar. But it is more difficult to damage the coating of galvanized rebar. In that respect, it has a more value than epoxy coated rebar. However, it's about 40% more expensive than epoxy coated rebar. Glass fiber reinforced polymer rebar. Glass fiber reinforced polymer rebar is made of carbon fiber. As it is made of fiber, bending is not allowed. It is very resistant to the corrosion and costly when compared to other rebars. Stainless steel rebar. Stainless steel rebar is the most expensive reinforcing bar available, about the 8 times the price of epoxy coated rebar. It is also the bar best available for the most of the projects. However, using the stainless steel bar in most of the unique circumstances is often overkill. But for those who have a reason to use it, stainless steel rebar is 1500 times the more resistance to the corrosion than black bar. It is more resistant to the damage than any other corrosive resistance or corrosive proof type of rebar, and it can be bent in the field. So I hope you like this video.